Hello again and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. We have got back to a 1v1 where we have Goopy versus Nezah. And in this bottom left hand corner, Nezah is in red and has gone arm and is planning to go bots. The top right hand corner we have Goopy, who is going Cortex, who is not chosen his factory yet, but we have Goopy's OS of 50, so that's very high. Nezah has 43. Don't get me wrong, they're still both very high numbers, so this should be a good one. Now, what we are seeing is Nezah is only going the double mechs and going straight into the factory, so this does mean that they will have units out first. Probably going for tick spam harass early on, which we do see 9 ticks queued up. Whereas Goopy is waiting a bit longer here to get his factory, and surprisingly is going into an air factory. Interesting to see here. Don't very often see an air open, so we'll see what he has planned. He is going shurikens, bomber, air transport. Now, what is he actually planning? Now, all of his plans may be for nothing if this tick gets in. Which so far, Goopy has nothing to stop that. Yep, there we go. The spectators are also saying the same thing. If the tick sees what's coming, then Nezah can just prepare some form of defenses. Quickly check. Here's POV, and he has seen the aircraft factory, and he's already building air defenses. And that's 2 mechs gone from Goopy here. Oh dear. He is not doing anything and instantly building another bot lab. He's not really reacting here, Goopy. I'm kind of surprised. Could easily move his commander here to deal with those, but instead it's just rotating between them. There you go, he reclaims one of them. But he's down 3 metal extractors right now. Surely this plan is not worth whatever he was planning on doing. He's quite a way behind now. There goes yet another windmill. Goopy really far behind. Although, I would say Nezah is not really taking advantage of this. He knows that Goopy's still in his base, yet he's just doubling down on economy in his base. There are so many extra metal extractors on this map. Why is he not moving out? He knows he's got no units. With the air defenses he has, it should be plenty enough to deal with it. Now Goopy has 0 metal extractors. What's he planning on doing? This high-starred lemon thing tick. The 1 grunt out now will be enough to defend against those ticks, but Goopy is so far behind at this point. What is he actually going to do? Nezah still hasn't taken advantage of this. He's got a couple of energy converters, but he's not actually producing excess energy right now. So why even bother? He needs to be expanding. And here come a massive tick swarm here. Right, it's just going to walk through the factory. Great harass here by Nezah. All of the economy of Goopy going up in smoke yet again. Resbot just survives with 6% health. Yeah, this is not going well for Goopy at all. He's getting so bullied into his base here. His fault for choosing an air to start with. Expected his opponent to maybe play a bit safer, but this is not helping him at all. And if Nezah had maybe transitioned to more fronts, or pawns, sorry, out of the base, rather than pushing into an air factory, he probably could have, you know, completely contained Goopy in his base for the entire time. Yet he still only has the same amount of combat units out that Goopy does, and Goopy's been on 0 mail extractors. So yeah, I don't know what Nezah's plan was. Goopy just easily just taking his time. Going to be back on 4 metal extractors momentarily. Meanwhile, Nezah is 4 additional metal extractors ahead at this point. Nothing else being built at this air factory right now. We do see some bombers queued up here from Nezah. And there is a single fighter out, stopping the Shuriken from harassing the actual units here. But fronts do have a range advantage against pawns, and as long as you micro them correctly, will beat pawns on a 1-on-1. And here we see the bomber coming in, causing Goopy even more problems. And there goes the hero Shuriken. Nothing to resurrect this time. And there goes the rest of his wins. Unfortunately, Goopy doesn't really have anything to bomb, because he's lost everything already. So Bomber wasn't really able to do much, I don't think. So this is a lesson in containing your opponent. If Nezah had instead positioned his units around here and contained Goopy, stopped him getting units out. He's got all these units on the right side here. Why? How is he able to get them out? Nezah's had so much of a time advantage here. And yet, Goopy with a single grunt was able to get into Nezah's base and destroy all of Nezah's eco with a single grunt. Gunship here not being microed as well is probably not a good help there. And Nezah's advantage has now been completely wiped out. This flanking run here from Goopy with some grunts is again going to take out a lot of the eco of Nezah. And even with the massive setback Goopy had, I definitely feel he's going to be able to pull this back. See some reclaiming on the go here for some dead trees. Ticks aren't really able to do anything at this point. And here we see yet another raid, destroying the extra economy of Nezah. And as the units are about to go straight in, there is nothing to stop them. This LLT may go up in time to do some damage, but the windmills are going to block the line of sight, so they're not going to be able to shoot anyway. And all of the wind economy goes up in smoke, and that, guys, is why you include spacing in your windmills. Don't build them right next to each other, otherwise they chain, and this is a prime example of that. And now Nezah literally has 3 windmills total. Yep. His energy is in the gutter. Pawns can't get close, but here come the gunships. But Goopy deciding instead to self-destruct his units so they don't leave wrecks, but also he did it on the trees, meaning that the trees die. The trees actually give 150 energy. So that was actually a smart play on his part, because he's already taken out Nezah's energy economy, and now there's no reclaim of energy economy left for him either. Meanwhile, we see Goopy out here with grunts and amphibious anti-air, the trashers here, that will make those gunships, the only force that Nezah has, completely useless. And all Nezah has is ticks. Also at this point he's building a third factory into vehicles, which are not a bad idea. However, he has no resources to build them with. If he's... Oh, he is currently actually reclaiming his air lab. Okay. So that'll give him a boost of metal. There you go. See 800 metal coming in. But the big issue he has right now is he has no energy. You see a bit of harass here from the gunships, but they don't actually get much. Are they going to get the engineer? They do get the engineer before dying. But was that worth it? I don't think so. Both players are now without any aircraft factories. A single bomber being left here by Nezah. However, Nezah is in a very big shortage of units right now. Goopy definitely ahead, and that bomber accomplishes nothing. Nezah has no expanding engineers again, and Goopy has definitely pulled this back. And this is a prime example of why you don't give up if you have a bad start, because Goopy was definitely in a bad position, but managed to pull it back and is now on the winning front. Oh, great D-gun from Goopy there, taking out the majority of Nezah's units. The D-gun gets blocked. If you don't know, that's a new edition of the Commander update. You cannot D-gun another player's commander. Goopy now only at 20% health though. Now if Nezah hadn't just lost all his units, this might be a time to go all in and take out his commander if they can, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. And if pawns do get close to grunts, they do a significant amount more damage, but the issue is to get close. Now we see the issue as well with this map is that there are so many ways round. You can see here, here, there, then even when you've done that, you've got the low ground you can move on, the high ground. There are so many different paths that you can take. It makes it difficult to block your opponent from, traversing in a direction. You kind of just have to stake your claim and just make sure you've got units to react to the other locations. Now the issue is that Nezah doesn't really have units ready to react. Now rather than being defensive here and playing on what Goopy is doing, Nezah is deciding to make Goopy react to him instead. He's sending all of his forces that he has up into this north lowland area and trying to get a bit of damage off on Goopy, forcing his units away from his commander. However, the issue is here is just on the map as well, is that there are plasma bots walking towards the commander right now, slowly getting hit by a laser tower. We can just see on the map, but it's not going to bode well for Nezah. Now that force at the north did manage to get 3 metal extractors, but with the resbot already there, that is kind of just a donation of almost 1,000 metal. See if Nezah can keep up with Goopy's roll into plasmas. Only 3 tanks so far. Now this would have been a good chance if he had his bomber, but unfortunately he doesn't. And the Janus out with the stouts may be able to hold this off for a little while longer. Goopy again with another forward factory here. He reclaimed his air a very long time ago. And the Pounders will deal with any bots that come out. Not really effective against the Januses though. They are very slow units. But let's see what we've got here in terms of unit counts. So we've got some artilleries coming out, good choice. Some stouts and a single Janus. Now, the artillery is there purely to force your opponent into attacking you, as well as getting rid of these static positions. Be interested to see what the range of this is. And you can see here that it has a fairly decent range, but not quite enough to hit across the water. So he has to be about here in order to hit the factory, which he is currently not in control of and doesn't know the factory exists yet either. He must do now that there is a pounder in his field of view. D-gun misses, unfortunately, for Nezah. The artillery spam is beginning. Wolverines also out from Goopy. 2 Wolverines now. And Nezah's comm getting battered here. Radar is probably about to go down as well. Where is the radar? There we go. That's the radar there from Goopy. Now, we've noticed that everything is being pushed into this middle section. And that laser tower goes down, which it has. There is now nothing stopping the forces pushing into Nezah other than way too many artilleries. 5 artilleries. He needs more units. He's about to get flanked by his own units that were resurrected. And the Janus is here, not really able to get their shots off. The Stouts can't get close enough to the Thugs without being killed. And Nezah is on the falling back edge here. He's not going to be able to really contest here for too much longer. Using his commander here to deal with the resurrected forces. Not using a D-gun early enough. That was a perfect angle for a D-gun. 4%, 2%. And Nezah gets wiped out. But his resurrected forces he sent on the early attack. Very disappointing for Nezah. Had a great opportunity there. With the early harass was excellent. But unable to capitalize on that. And Goopy takes the win. Well done both players. Thank you all for watching. And I'll see you guys next time.